Hello everybody, this is Frankie from Bosque Mobile Bicycle Repair. Today we are live at Denver Community Media, right? Or is it studios? Anyways, we're here in downtown Denver, Colorado. If you guys need a film, come down here and get your studio session. Yeah, we got a good show today. We're just gonna go through some basic repairs. You know, I had somebody lend me their bicycle, and just gonna check it out. I haven't even looked at it, so we're gonna do just do a little simple assessment, and then I'm gonna show you how to assess and, you know, I wouldn't say restore, but it's not a heavy duty restoration. It's like more of a refurbishment for an older bicycle, you know, oldie but goodie, because, you know, I don't want to see these bicycles go in the landfill, you know, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on a new bike. Sometimes just getting an old bike and fixing it up and, you know, going out for a nice recreational ride, nothing serious. You just want to get out the house and get exercise, fresh air. It's summertime, you know. It's June 2026, so let's have fun. Let's get outside and ride. So I want to make sure you guys are safe and your bikes are in good condition, safe, rideable condition, and tuned up, you know. That way you don't have to worry about a mechanical failure out on the road. But yeah, also, yeah, it's Denver Community Media, not Denver Community Studios. Sorry. I'm getting old. So yeah, we got the first bike right here. It's a nice MTB Salsa. And it's a, it almost looks like a one bike because that other chainring is super small in there. But yeah, it's got a loud, noisy rear hub, that's the style, you know. The kids these days, they like that type of bike. But yeah, it's just what is it called? It's a cyclocross. It's basically an old mountain bike. That's what it is. That's what cyclocross is. So yeah, just checking it out. Looking at the rotor, making sure the rotor is not rubbing on the brake pads. That's like kind of one of the first things I like to do. I like to look at the wheel between these are called the chain stays right here. The chain stays. Let me know if I'm moving too fast. You know, you guys in the room, in the command center. Just making sure that wheel isn't like super wobbly. I mean, the good thing with disc brakes is it's not going to really affect your braking if the wheel's out of true. It'll affect your how efficient, you know, you roll, your rolling resistance, and how fast you go, but not as much your brakes. With rim brake pads, you got to be a little bit more concerned because you have to be really concerned because those brake pads can rub on the tire, or you could wear your brake pads prematurely if they're always rubbing on there. So yeah, I like to come over here, check it out, spin the front wheel, listen for any rubbing. Definitely some rubbing on this brake. Check the hydraulic. These are hydraulic brakes, by the way. Let's move that up a little bit, just where my hands are, please. There we go. So these are hydraulics, so I like to see that they're engaging, you know, with engaging at the appropriate lever movement. So if these are bottoming out, you know, it needs to be more fluid in there. There might be air in the system, so the brakes will need to be re-bled. Bleeding, I do not recommend beginners do that, especially with these road type of levers. It's a little complicated, but even with mountain bikes, it's better to take it to a shop if you're a beginner. You don't want to, you know, hydraulic brakes are they're more complicated to repair than cable brakes, you know, and that's why I prefer cable brakes. You know, they're good enough, but, you know, the style has moved to hydraulic. So yeah, so I check in the brakes, grab the wheel, move it. Let's go down a little bit. I think that central camera had it pretty good. Center camera, please. Okay, so yeah, I grab the wheel, make sure the bearings are not loose or anything like that. Hold the frame, boom, 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 all good. And yeah, so everything looks, I'm gonna adjust these brakes real quick. I'm gonna check it shifting. So I like to start off with high, big chain ring, little cog in the rear. And so I'm gonna shift down. Boom, 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 boom. I'm listening, gotta use your ears. I could tell if a bike's if it's not shifting properly by just the sound. Okay, there we go. I'm in the middle. I'm gonna shift down right now. There's only 2 chain rings, so there's no middle chain ring. Okay. Now what I do is when I get towards the top, I'm gonna shift to the lowest gear. And one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure on this direct. Let's get a zoom in on there. No, where my hand is, please. There you go. So I'm gonna make sure that this jockey wheel is these are called the jockey. This is the derailleur, but the little wheels on there are called jockey wheels. You know, like a jockey that rides a horse in the horse race. That's what they call them, jockey wheels. So I want to make sure that this jockey wheel is not rubbing on the largest chain ring. If it is, you got to set the B screw. It's called the B screw. You have the high limit screw, the low limit screw, and the B screw. So on this derailleur, this is the B screw right here. So on these high-end derailleurs, I like to make it to make it complicated. So you have to use a what is it called? A hex key or a Allen key to adjust it instead of a Phillips, a 2mm. So they want to be special, so they do that. So the high limit screw and the low limit screw, it's like tucked back here. This derailleur is for a 1x. It has this little lever right here. Can we get the central camera and zoom in, please, on the PTZ? Or maybe, yeah, let's get. I need to get right here, please. And I'm gonna let the cameraman adjust. Take my time. Okay, so they got this little lever here. So this makes it more tension and less tension. When you're riding, you want it to be with this one. Let me feel it. You never know what it can be. And this all the way up. Yeah, that's definitely more. So with this derailleur, I mean, it has to be upward, you know, rotated counterclockwise to the max, and then that increases the tension. So it's like it's really more tension than an average derailleur, sorry. And then when I put it all the way down, basically clockwise, as far as possible, it's more or less tension. So that's the technology for a 1x system. The derailleurs have a very strong. They're pulling this chain. Let's pull out. This is pulling this chain like really hard to keep it on the teeth of the cogs and the chain ring. That's the whole technology. So yeah, yeah. The I'm not, but yeah. Let's zoom out. So the rider here, he feels comfortable with riding this bicycle, but it is too small for him because the seat post is really extended, very high. I don't recommend it to be this high. If you need to raise your seat post this high, you need a bigger bicycle. But the gentleman, he feels comfortable. So if it works, it works. If it works for him, it works for him. But I don't think this is safe. But he was insistent on riding this bicycle. And but yeah, so also this. But yeah, make sure that this is tightened. This is your seat post clamp. This one is nice because it has a Newton meter rating on it. I'll take this out of the thing. Just kind of go. Let me see if you can zoom in on. Let me get the one right here. Zoom in on this little number right here. You got that? Let's see if we can do that. Oh, there you go. Perfect. There you go. So you got 3 to 5 Newton meters, and then the number that says 32, that's just the diameter, the appropriate diameter of the seat tube that this clamp would work on. There's a lot of variations of seat tube diameters and the seat post, these diameters. So a lot of people will buy a replacement and it won't work. So yeah. Also check. Let's zoom out, please. Maybe the central, or yeah, that'd be this camera. Yeah, yeah. So under here are 2 bolts. 2 bolts right here. Always check that those are torqued. If you ride a lot, you know, even if you don't ride a lot, just it's good to check these before, you know, every 5 rides or 10 rides, because a lot of people will get out on the trail and this seat will be loose. It'll be, and then they're like, oh, I need an Allen key, and then they didn't pack it a multi-tool. Okay, let's go to central camera, please. Central camera. So I like to check the headset bearings, make sure everything's tightened up. Cool, looking good. Look, the grip's looking good, the grip tape. But yeah, I put my hand right here, and I can feel if there's any play or movement within the bearings in the headset. Sometimes you can put your hand down here, and so yeah, there we go. But yeah, so this bike is in it really tuned up. It's pretty good, not too bad. Needs a bath, I'd say. Needs a good little bath. Other than that, it's rolling pretty smooth. But yeah, I'll do the brakes on it, and then that'll be it for this one right here. But yeah, so all the cyclocross riders out today on the trail. Let me see. I probably could turn. I'm gonna turn this bike. I think that central camera might be good. Actually, since that one's zoomed in, I might just go with the other PTZ, not the central PTZ. I'll turn this around. That way you guys can see. Let's get the right there. Yeah, on the calipers, like boom. Let's see if we can get right there. Let's go up let's see, focus up. That's perfect. That's perfect. See that? Let me. Oh, if I had a flashlight, I could probably light it up right there. Yeah, right there. That's good. So you can see the light. You can see the light. See that? Yeah, that'll help. Thank you. So let's get this light. Always work in a well-lit area or work outside in the sun. You know. So I'm gonna show you guys. See, there we go. Oh yeah. See that? It's rubbing. It's gonna be. It's rubbing. Now my lav mic might pick up the rubbing sound. Let's try to do this. There you go. Right there. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. There's a slight bend to this rotor. There we go. Yeah, see, it's not rolling as smooth, it's stopping. So there we go. See that? It's on this, it's rubbing on this side right here. Side. Cool. Thank you, man. Thank you. Okay, you can zoom out. I'm gonna show them what I'm gonna do. So with this sometimes the calipers, the pistons. So you got, if you can look it up on YouTube, or so the hydraulics will push out these things called pistons and then push the brake pads a little bit more. They'll kind of make them stuck and outward. So from what it appears that the pistons are kind of pushed out. They're stuck, kind of pushed out. So I'm gonna get a piston press and a I think it's hopefully there's a 5mm. It's a 6. Is it a? Yeah, I think it's a 6mm. 6mm. Yeah, that's good. It got grease on his through axle. That's rare that I see that. A lot of bike shops will not do that. You know. So yeah, so I'm gonna push these in. Sometimes I like to do this even though it's not the reason why, because I will be adjusting, and then I'll find out that I have to do that. So I'll just do it beforehand, you know, better safe than sorry. And when you're using these through axles, you have to be careful not to, when you're engaging it, because you don't want to cross thread the other side of the fork, because you're going to have a bad day. And the manufacturer is probably not going to sell you another replacement of this, so, you know, yeah, it's, planned obsolescence right here. Or if they do sell it, it's probably not going to be in the same color. So what I like to do is, with the calipers, oh, this one's a weird one. So the caliper bolts are right here by the rotor. It's a 4 millimeter. 4 millimeter. Oh, let's see if we can get my 4 mil. My 4 millimeter. Okay, so this is okay. So I'm loosening these up. Oh my gosh. I'm just loosening the caliper mounting bolts right here. So I'm going to readjust the caliper to align it. So if it's properly aligned or aligned to the rotor, the predominantly most of the direction of the rotor, the side to side movement. So what I like to do is I like to hit the brake, engage the brake caliper, and then tighten the mounting bolts. Don't want to tie it on them super tight, like crazy tight, because we're still in the adjusting phase. And I'm still rubbing. I have a feeling this is not going to be a good brake to adjust, because there's not a lot of play with this. You're talking about like 1 millimeter on both sides if it's properly adjusted. So sometimes they put a lot of fluid in the caliper system, and it's like super I gotta use my ears. So if it's that bad, sometimes I'll just bend the rotor a little bit. So I'm gonna get my drumstick. I don't know what just a rotor truing tool, but this one, I guess, this, shout out to Nate from REI. He actually gave this to me. Master Tech over there, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Cool guy, local legend over there, man. There we go. Yeah, it's getting better. Sometimes, so with these, sometimes you want to raise this up. I want to raise it up. So that way I can see a little bit better on this. You're not going to defeat me, brake caliper. Yeah, it definitely has a lot of, barely any play on this. Barely any room for adjustment. Imagine doing this in the sun. Oh man. Ooh. Do that a little bit. And then get my 4 millimeter. Rock Lobster. I think there's a bike manufacturer called Rock Lobster or something like that. Let's see. So yeah, there's barely any room. This thing does not want to play nice to me on live. There we go. There we go. Yep. Sometimes the brake mounting surface needs to be faced, especially if there's a caliper that's like hardly any what is it called, room on the sides. But I think I got it right now. I think I got it. Ooh, just a little bit. It's a little bit. But it's better. A lot better. This requires patience, kimosabi. Patience. To be the master. Definitely. Oh. Hold your breath. Hold your breath, everybody. I think I did it. I have to tighten it. Just oh my gosh. There's sealant in here. I heard the sealant running around. Yeah. Look at that. You see that? And I did it on live TV. I want to see your bike shop do that. They can't. You see that? Bosque Mobile Bicycle Repair. Repping over here. All right, cool. We got that. Let's get this out of here. Let's get this out of here. You guys don't follow me, just leave it right here on that shot, please. Por favor. Well, now you know. Reading Rainbow. Okay, now I'm gonna put this bike in the stand, and we're gonna talk about refurbishing these vintage bicycles, man. These were in the 70s right here, the bike boom. These things were cranked out like crazy. And then I'm gonna get my expensive Park Tool shop mat right here. This cost $9.99. I mean $99.99. So it's not Park Tool blue, but it's yeah. Let's get a shot of that special mat right here. If you got a nice garage, I recommend you get this so you don't stain your garage concrete. If you're putting lubricants on your bike, I'm also selling these on my website. And I sign all of them too with my autograph. Okay. So this is a Miyata. I think it's called. I think it's Japanese, right? You know, Tom, is it Japanese? Okay, we believe so. We don't have AI right now. It's down. Anyways, yeah, Miyata. So it's a yeah, it's an older style bike, but I mean these things, if you take care of them, they'll last forever. And I mean this thing doesn't really have that much corrosion, which is awesome. It's a stainless. I think might be real chrome. Back in the day, they used to use real chrome. Now with all the environmental regulations, chrome isn't out there no more. You know, it's really expensive. But anyways, yeah, this chain right here is really is rusted, but it can be revived. Let's zoom in on this. Let's zoom in on this chain right here. Let me move out the way. So, if you're gonna, can you zoom in more, please? Like on the cogs. Let's just do it right here on the cog right here. So sometimes I wouldn't even lubricate it. I'll just change out the chain. You can zoom in more, please, so we can get the textual color. Yeah, some chains I'd be like, hey, you got to get a new chain. You know, tell a customer, hey, you need a new chain. Even with the lubrication, it's just not gonna roll smooth. But this one, what I do is I grab the pins and I move it like this. and I kind of feel it. And this one has no resistance. Now, if there's a little bit of resistance and you put some lubrication on it and you ride the bicycle, yeah, it could be revived. But there's some, if it's like really bad rusted, no, you're not gonna be able to revive it. Another cool thing is this has some dirt on it, but it's okay. Let's get the park tool mat. Anyways, you can hear the ratchet mechanism still, you know, making noise in the hub. So it, yeah, it's still good. It still can be repaired. Everything's rolling smooth. I was checking it out earlier. It just needs some, you know, a little bit of love, you know. But I'm gonna put some chain lube on it, and I'm gonna release these brakes because these brakes are rubbing. And these brakes I haven't worked on in a minute, but oh, somebody adjusted these tight. But yeah, we're gonna do this. But yeah, I'll just lubricate it anyways. But I'm gonna switch out these brake pads because these brake pads are old too. I'm gonna get my the chain lube. There we go. Chain lube right here. Let's get Matt's over here. White Lightning chain lube. Not sponsored by them, but this is the best chain lube. This is the chain lube I use and I recommend. This is Epic Ride. It's an all-weather chain lube, but if you live in a really wet environment, like say Seattle, they make like one specific for like really rainy environments. If you live in the desert, like you know, Tucson, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, who knows, maybe New Mexico, like a dry, arid environment, they make the wax kind, and this kind works pretty good in that environment. What else? They have another one. It's in a black bottle. I don't like that one. If it's something severely rusted, I used to use that on it, and just if the customer didn't want to buy a new chain or something, I just put that on there. But it's like a cleaning and lubrication solution. I don't like that one, but this one is really good. This is the all-weather one. So they have the wax one too. I used to use that one a lot, but it wears off more faster. But yeah, I'm just gonna lubricate. Since this chain is pretty rusted, I use more than normally, you know what I mean? So yeah, and these brakes are rubbing right now, so I'm like, it's pretty bad. But yeah, there we go. So no squeaking. No squeaking. For an older bicycle, this thing can be revived. And sometimes I put some on the derailleur hanger pivot points. I don't always do this, but like every once in a great while, if a regular bicycle that is well maintained, put it on there. Okay, just put a little bit on there. Okay, there we go. So yeah, put it on there. Pop, pop, pop. So yeah, put that on there. Kind of shift through the gears to kind of evenly distribute the lubrication. Okay. And this front derailleur is rubbing on it. Bada bing. Go like that. The cool thing about this too is that little plate, you know how they call this a pie plate, but it's like a little plastic, you know, most bikes, but this one's made out of metal, like stainless steel, and this thing lasts forever. You know, if it's not corroded, you can let it last forever. So that's cool. they made bikes with these made out of metal back in the day. Now they just make them out of plastic. And it's their cost-cutting cost. But yeah, so taking a look at this. But yeah, this bike is old. It's got a rubber rim strip in there. I don't like that. It's got gator skins. They put new tires on it. But yeah, most like 10 times out of 10, if it's like an old bike that hasn't been touched in years, needs new brake pads. These are called Bosque brake pads. Can we get a close up on these? I should probably turn. Should I turn it or which PTZ? Yeah, I would say like more from the central shot would be pretty, or maybe Matt's camera number 2. I think Matt. Okay. Oh yeah, you're from the back. Yeah, the front one. You got the front one. Cool. Yeah, the front one. So that's a Bosque brake pad. That's it's like a little. I don't know. I got it right here. This one. So let's get a shot of that. So they sell them. They still sell these brake pads. They're still common. I know some right there. There we go. Cool. So I know like some high-end bike shops are like, oh, these are non-existent, outdated. No, they're still around. And the little bolt is usually a 10 millimeter. Uses a 10 millimeter socket or nut driver. So yeah, these will work good. Nothing wrong with them. Sometimes I like to lubricate, like if I have time, you know, if it's my bike or something, I'll re-lubricate the bearings. So that requires taking it apart. I'm not going to do that today. It'll take a long time. But yeah, the derailleur's pretty good. It's moving all good. And it just, the seat post really needs to be lubricated. Sorry if I'm moving too much, but zoom out. But yeah, it's definitely the first thing I do is I lubricate. One of the main things I do with these old bikes is lubricate the seat post if I can get it off, and the quill stem, because it'll seize up. And once the quill stem or the seat post seizes up, it's gonna be there's already a ton of videos on YouTube of them using all kinds of contraptions and giant tools to like take them off, you know, because it's just galvanic corrosion is no joke, you know. But yeah, I'll do that right now. I use I don't use no fancy grease. I just use, you know, just regular automotive grease. It'll do good even for the bearings, you know. They got expensive park tool grease, but you don't need that stuff. A lot of times these bike shops, they don't grease the seat posts or the quill stems. They don't grease the pedal threads. It's because they just want to crank them out. They just, you know, they're just trying to get them out the door and sell them. They don't really care about what happens later on down the road with these bikes. So that's, you know, it shows a lot about their work craftsmanship, you know. So they don't grease it. But I'm gonna grease this. Yeah. So I think I'll start off with the quill stem. That way I don't have to take the bike down. And I'm gonna lower this a little bit. And I did take this off last time. So hopefully it comes off this time. Yatta. So boop 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 boop. Got this. Just need a little bit of grease. Okay. See that? All that rusted nastiness. So I'll go like that. And I'm gonna get a rag. I think I have one in my pocket somewhere. Some pockets. Just use a cut up t-shirt, you know. So I just clean off the old dried up grease, wipe this part down right here, And yeah, and let's go like that. Man, they made bikes with like real stainless steel chrome and stuff like that back in the day. Cool, pretty cool. And I get a little finger, not like a crazy amount, but this is, yeah, that's a little bit too much. So go like this, and you want to get, this is called the wedge right here. This is the wedge. This is the part of the bike, the quill stem, that corrodes a lot. It's usually made out of, like, to me it looks like cast iron steel, and but the quill stem is stainless or aluminum. This is probably aluminum quill stem, which, and then the frame steel, so when it rusts it's galvanic corrosion, and then it fuses together, so that's why it's extremely difficult to remove. And I put a little bit of grease in here, rub it around, go like that. And sometimes it actually would be kind of good to put a little bit more than the seat post, because the quill stem, you don't want it to, it's all bad once it corrodes, you know. So I put that back in there. And so you could see the maximum. Oh, look at that. Zoom in on that. You see that? Is it the, let's go zoom in close. Is that, I don't know if I can read it. It's as good as you get. Yeah, it shows the max height. You see that? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good enough. So that the lines right there, those dashes, do not raise it to where that is visible. So this is the, let me keep it on that shot, please. Lower it a bit. I'll go down a bit. Okay, let me actually, hold on one moment. I'll take off this glove. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna show you the maximum. There you go. Go back to the shot, please. So you do not, so this is the max height. This is the highest you can go with this quill stem. The highest you can go. Well, actually, no, my bad, sorry. You don't want to see those dash lines. You don't want to see them. You're right there, boom. Right till those dash lines are not visible, that's like the max height. So that's your kind of your rise in height. So yeah, plus you can adjust these thumb shifters to go a little bit higher. That way, that way you can push this down lower, more deeper into the quill stem. So I can show you that right now. Let me get the where's the pinch clap on this? This one is, oh, I see what it is. It has a Phillips right there. Phillips bolt to adjust the clamp on there. So you get this. So with this style, I like when the down tube shifters are on the down tube. But yeah, I can adjust the clamp of the down tube shifters. Boom. See, I can raise this up. I raised it up. You can't really, let's get camera number 2, please. Let's get camera. Oh wait, actually there we go. Can we zoom in right here? I don't know if we're gonna get it. But oh, you're not gonna get it. Yeah, no way I can get it. Let me see, raise it up. So there you go. I'm gonna point to it right here. See that? That bolt adjusts the clamping. Cool. And yeah, we got it. Nice. So that's what we do, and then I can put it. Raising this up will allow me to put the quill stem deeper into the tube right here. So that's a little tips for you. Little tips, tricks. I know people are going to be like, well, quill stems are not that common. Well, there's a lot of people riding older bicycles, and there's some manufacturers quite a few of them still manufacture bicycles with quill stems. I like them because they don't really loosen up a lot like the threadless stems. And if you're commuting to work, you know, you don't want to, you're riding your bike a lot and you don't want it to, this is like the most important part, you don't want to loosen up, is this right here. So your handlebars will go this way and your wheel will go the other way and you might go into traffic. I was loosening this, by the way, but I was talking too much, but yeah. Okay. Got that. There we go. Okay. Ba-ba-ba. Turn this up. Actually, I think that might get good. There we go. Cool. Okay, and then I'm gonna go on I got this glove. I don't know. Loosen this right here, and loosen that. This is a 13 millimeter, which is not too common, but 13 millimeter bolt. Let's get up on this C-post bolt. I don't know if we should, which camera you think we should use? Okay. There we go. That's good enough. So yeah, I got this bolt right here. Very old school. It's like a bolt. And I got a 13 millimeter for it. So I'm just going to loosen it counterclockwise. See, it's very difficult, and so I'm gonna get some grease. Put some grease up on there. Then put it down. See that sliding down nice and better, way nice and smoother. Kind of work it in there, and then I would take it out. Actually, I'm gonna take it out and then put some in there. Yeah, that definitely was rusted. That was pretty nasty. Yeah, I'm gonna put a lot of grease in there since it's old. Normally I wouldn't do this, but since it's this old, you wanna, yeah, this is pretty rusted, corroded. Okay, yeah, there we go. There we go. Then get my rag. Wipe off the excess grease. So you get that. Get grease on my. Yeah, we got enough clamping space. Put this back. Oh, I gotta tighten it. Duh. Make sure to tighten it before you put it back in the bicycle clamp. Make sure it's lined up with your, let's get the central camera, please. Central. Or we can do camera number 2. I think Matt got one. That's a good shot too. So I'm lining the tip of this seat post. I mean the tip of the bicycle seat, lining it with the top tube of the bicycle. So yeah, zoom out, Matt, please. There we go. So the tip of this lined with, if you're looking down at it, you know, and looking down at it, and you just okay. That. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Put this back in here. Something I noticed with this bicycle, if you can, Matt, can you get a shot of this real quick? Something I haven't seen. I don't think I've ever. I know these exist. I've seen them for sale, but I may have seen them maybe a handful of times. These are pedal extenders. So this extends how, see the pedal, you screw the pedal extender into the crank arm. This is called the crank arm. And then you screw the pedal into the pedal extender. I think these are called pedal extenders. But basically this moves the platform of the pedal more outwards. So this is a fitting, this is a device to kind of help your bicycle fit you better. These are rare that I see these, but I have seen them before. So this is something that's pretty rare. But yeah, if you're I guess, you know, your leg, you know, if you don't feel comfortable, you want your legs to be wider. Let's get a shot of that. So if you're riding, you feel like your legs want to be a little bit more wider. You know, say my arms on my legs, then you use those pedal extenders. So that's something I saw about this bike. That's the cool thing about working on bikes, is you never know what you're gonna get. You never know what you're gonna see. So there's all kinds of different accessories to help you your bicycle fit you. You know what I mean? Because we're all built different. You know, we're all built different. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna pump up these tires, make sure the air's okay in them, see if it holds air. Cause I might just switch this one out, this tube out on this one, but I just want to see it. But sometimes, you know, if you have an old bike, it's good just to swap out the tube. So that's what I'll do. You know, I'm just gonna do that. So this bicycle is very old, and it uses an older diameter of tire. It's a 27 inch by 1 1/8 inch. Which camera should I use to zoom in? Let's zoom in on this one right here. Zoom in on this one. Just so we can see how good we can do. Got number 2 on this one. So they still make tires in this size. They still make bicycles. Not a lot of them, but they still do make bikes in a 27 inch size. So this is an older diameter. So, and then that's the number that is 28 to 830. That's ETRTO. Now, a lot of people may have trouble buying tubes for these, because a lot of tubes are not going to, that's actually good that I'm talking about this. So a lot of tubes are, a lot of people you're not going to be able to find a tube size that says 27 inch. Most of the tubes are going to be 700C size tires. So a lot of people think they could put a 700C size tire on a rim that is built for 27 inch. Can we get a zoom in on this box, please? Because I'm going to show you right now. But you can, now when it comes to tubes, there's a lot more play. There's a lot more room to mix match. So this is a tube that is the size 700 by 20 to 28C will fit in a tire that is 27 inch by 1 1/4. But this is a 1 1/8. 1 1/8 is slightly smaller in width, in the width of your tire, and the width than a 1/4 inch. You know, an 1/8 of an inch is smaller size than a 1/4 inch, but it's not that significantly different. It's not. It's just barely a little bit. So I would use this. So this is only meant for a 1/4 inch, 1 1/4 inch. You could still get. It's technically a little bit too big in the width department, not in the diameter, but in the width. So I could still fit this in here. Like it's not going to be a safety issue. It might be a little bit difficult, but I doubt it. With this, it's not going to be difficult. But we're going to find out. So this is a trick, because I know a lot of people are riding old bikes and they want to fix them up and ride them, and they're like, I can't find a 27-inch size tube. Well, you can use a 700C. It would probably be best to use a 700 for this 1 1/8 inch diameter. It would be better to use maybe like a 700 by 20 to 24, or like a 700 by 19 tube. But you know, it's hard to find those in a one that has a Schrader valve, not a Presta valve. You know, but we're gonna find out. So this is let me show you. So this, you know, just to show you what a Presta valve is. Zoom in on that box, please. So that's a Presta valve, okay. And I'm gonna try to. We're gonna switch this tube out, and then after that we'll go to break. So I'll put this grease away. So I'm gonna take off this wheel, and it looks like it is a 15 millimeter. Yep, 15. Yeah, most of these bolts for the axle is a 15 millimeter. Always be on the smallest cog. Pull this out, spin that. Let me see. And I'm gonna switch out this tube. I'm gonna move this bike out the way. Let's do this. Let me show you guys how to switch out a tube. It's all dirty. How you say dirty in French? No. Remember that movie Joe Dirt? You ever seen it? It's like, my name's not Joe Dirt, it's Dear Tay. So yeah, this as immediately after when I was taking this off, the rim strip it broke. You see that? The rubber rim strip. That's why I do not like these rubber rim strips. They deteriorate really fast. They're really flimsy and they move around. So yeah, no bueno, no bueno. That's good. That's a good shot. That's good. We'll zoom out again. So taking off that. Throw this on the side. Take this off. Yeah, definitely needs. So I'm checking the spoke nipples and make sure that they are nothing. No spokes are protruding, or the spoke nipples aren't sharp, or the rim isn't sharp. I'm moving pretty fast, but for those at home, move your hands slowly and visually inspect it. Use your eyes, your hands. Make sure there's nothing sharp. Sometimes the valve hole can be drilled out and it's not reamed, so you gotta ream it, deburr it. So That's the thing with cutting metal, fabricating metal, is that you get burrs. Machinists, metal fabricators, welders know about this. So it's good to wear gloves. Cameraman, drink some water. Over there choking over there. Over there. Because I'm going to need some water in a little bit too. So, and let me see. And so, let me get some, I like to use isopropyl alcohol and clean the rim before I put the rim strip on. And, oh my gosh. Let's see if I can put it, there we go. Let's go. Let me see if I can find some. I think I brought some with me today. Isopropyl alcohol. Margarita, huh? Use one. Don't drink and ride your bicycle, kids. Don't do that. Don't do that. Or any adults either. Yeah, or old people, you know. Let's do healthy activities. Let me see. Oh, I was gonna use water. I'm just gonna use water and a rag to clean it. Sometimes you're just out in the field and you gotta use what you got. I got some soap and water, but I'm not gonna do all that, you know. This is just for demonstration. But yeah, I like to just clean that rim. Look how shiny this rim is. I like that. So I'm just gonna wipe off all the dirt and dust and just do that. So look at that rag. Zoom in on that rag. Look how nasty that is. Oh boy. See that? That's all the grease and grime. Yep. And then I use I just use electrical tape for rim strips most of the time. The customer wants to use something really nice and, you know, some cotton rim straight, but electrical tape will work good. Just change it out every once a year. It's a good trick. It's sufficient enough. It's not, I know there's some very bike people that are like, oh my gosh, no, you will not die, trust me. I have it on my bike. I'm cool. You do not need a crazy. Let's see. So I start out the rim. I think we should get Matt, you good? Matt, you good? Yeah, let's get Matt. So I start off on one end of the valve, where the tube valve is, the valve hole, right here. And then what I'm gonna do is kind of stretch it, push it down. With this one has a narrow channel, so I'm gonna stretch it out a bit and then put some pressure on it. There's a method to the madness. And if you want to get a lot of rolls of electrical tape, go to Harbor Freight, because these sell like a 6-pack for like a couple bucks. Well, now because it might be a little more expensive, but so we go. So I go over the valve hole one time, but I only go over, I'll overlap the valve hole one time, but the rim is wrapped 2 times, because I start off at one end of the valve hole and then end at the other side. Sounds like a puzzle, but trust me, it's good. So we are at the end of life, but you can get away with, one. This one kind of ended, but let me get my tape, my scissors. This one ended kind of short, but I can get some. I got another one, electrical tape. I got a ton of these. So yeah. overlap that. You can pull on it and then keep going. Overlap the edge of the previous where it would end it, and you can keep. It'll work out. So yeah, if you live in a hot environment, definitely change it out once a year. But if you're in a cold environment, or not, you know, not so hot, and you might get away with it being longer, but I'd recommend just once a year, just switch it out. But I recommend the cotton rim strip. It's called Velo. I think it's called Velo Fix. Is it? Might be Velo Fix, but cotton rim strip. But that one's been made for a long. There's one brand that has been made for a long time, and I spend money on it. But yeah, there we go. And then I get the Phillips, and I poke a hole in the valve hole like that. My brush at. Another thing I do is I get a brush. It's like a towel brush, and I just clean out the dirt from inside the tire. So, and a lot of times if there's like goat heads that are still sticking through there, it'll break them off, you know. So kind of like, and this fits like perfectly in a tire. So I go like that. Okay, so I got that. Bada bing. And let's line up the valve hole with the logo. Ooh. So some because I'm a bike shop enthusiast. I'm a bike enthusiast, and I'm a dweeb, and I'm a bike nerd, man. You gotta line. You know what? Just for that, guess what? Not lining it up today. Not today, kid. I'm gonna get some bad comments in the. Guess what? I'm trolling you guys now. Trolling you guys. You guys wanna? Somebody cried on like, I think it was on Facebook. Somebody's like, you didn't line up the valve hole. I'm like, whatever, dude. You know what? I just ride. That's all I care about. I need to lose weight, so. I don't have enough money for Ozempic, so I gotta ride my bike, all right? But yesterday, somebody told me I look 20 years in my 20s, so I'm good. You know? I'm not worried about lining up a logo with the valve hole. Oop. Okay. Sometimes with that electrical tape, you gotta kind of remit, because, oh, there we go. We good. That's why you only go over the valve hole one time with electrical tape, because if you do it 2 times, you may not be able to put that valve through there unless you kind of trim it. But yeah, even though this tube said only for 1 1/4, I think it was 1 1/4 inch, I could tell right now by just putting it in, it'll fit really good inside this tire, even though it's a 1 1/8. Yeah, it's going in like smooth, so there's no problem. They probably just didn't want to put 1 1/8. I mean, if it's on the packaging, you know, like, or they just didn't do it, but it'll fit so good. There we go. I'm gonna put a little bit of air in it and then massage the tire. Put it in there. Okay, massage. So I've just put enough in there to give it some shape. Well, to give it a pretty good amount of shape and pressure. Just gonna massage it. Make sure that it's good to look inside. Make sure there's no the tube is not in between the tire and the rim. So I got a lot of videos on this, how to install a tube in a tire. Go check it out. You know, there we go. I'm gonna pump it up to the appropriate PSI, which is, and if it's a Continental Gator skin, it's extremely difficult to read because they just want to make your life harder. But I'm assuming it'll be, oh, they're 102 PSI. No minimum, no max, just 102 PSI. I'll just put it at 110 just to be safe. Not to blow it up, but, or maybe 115. But yeah, with these tires, they just make it not visible. They'll make the size of the tire visible, but not the PSI. And I'm using my surface pump. Let's get a shot of this pump because I love this pump and I want to promote my pump right here. This is Surface. Yes, sir. Where's the logo at? Oh. I'm not sponsored by them, but I do love this pump because it has the pressure gauge up here, and practically 95% of all bike pumps have it on the floor where you can't see it that well. And it's not like they make these numbers super visible, so you're not like hunchbacked over. And yeah, so, but yeah, this is it's looking good. Just double checking this to make sure that this tire is not, I don't want this to pop on live TV and yep. Always double check. Always double check. Yeah, this pump got more expensive. I think last time I made a live video. It said it was like 100. I forgot what I didn't say it was 100. I said it was like 50. I don't know, something. But with inflation, unfortunately, this pump got real expensive. But I think I bought it at a good time before inflation. So pre-inflation. So this was, I said 120, right? I got dementia. There you go. Good. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Danger wheel. Okay. And put on the cap. And we're going on a break. We'll be right back. Let's go to commercial. Hello everybody, we are back. Bosque mobile bicycle repair here. Gonna continue fixing up this old Miata bicycle, and yeah, we just installed a new tube in the rear wheel. Talked about the size of it. So I noticed something about this bicycle that is an issue. This is I forget the name of these brakes. I'll look them up at another. I'll put them in the description below. But these are very old-fashioned style type of brakes, which are very reliable, still very reliable. There's nothing wrong with them. The cable's frayed right here, so it's not allowing me to adjust it. Or I can release this. Actually, I think I can release this. Yeah, I can still release it. So this is a very. So I can release it, but it's not giving me. I can't adjust it because of this. This right here. This is like the main cable where I can adjust. So it's frayed, and I can't go any to give it more slack because it's frayed right here at the pinch location, all the way up to the pinch location. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace the cable, and that way I can adjust the rear brakes on this. So if your cables are frayed this close to the pinch bolt, you want to replace them. So this is a road bicycle, so it takes a kind of a special little cable. You know, they still make these. Let me see. I believe I have one, and I have shifting cables, inner cable. Yeah, I got this one. This is the brake. This is like MTB cable. But yeah, let me pull out my cables. This is this one right here. You got it. I know I got one in here somewhere. But yeah, we got one right here. So it looks like a mushroom kind of end. This one is it doesn't look like a mushroom, but it is compatible with it. It's more, let's zoom in on this. So this is it's a double-sided brake cable. Yeah, let's do Matt right here. Matt got it. So this one is this one right here is like the barrel end. This is way more common, the most common with mountain bikes and recreational bikes. This is the road type. This is a bad example because this is compatible, but it's not it doesn't look like the typical end, like the mushroom type style head of it. Let me there you go. Cool. And this is a stainless steel braided cable. It's less prone to corrosion. And I'm gonna zoom. You can zoom out. I'm gonna see if I can find that one real quick, just to see what. Cause I think I have one in here. I know I have one in here. So. Let's see. But I'll put a link in the description to the what it looks like. So we got the MTB predominantly. Yeah, I don't have one. I swear. Let's see, I think I have one. Let me check in my bag real quick. I swear, I thought I had one real quick. Mushroom stuff. No, I didn't have one. It's all good. We're gonna roll with it. So yeah, we're gonna I'm gonna replace this. Kind of show you. This is I'm not a big fan of road levers like these levers because they're not that good. I mean, they're just not easy to replace. So you gotta feed it under here, and I'm checking the cable housing. So I'm gonna cut it right now. Use a cable cutter. Boom, boom. Cable cutter. Super B cable cutter. Really good. So, and it's gonna be impossible to get the shot inside underneath this lever, because you gotta let me get number 2 right here. Yeah, that one's good. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of impossible to get underneath here, but you can see where it has this like swivel barrel type of seat underneath it. This you're gonna have to find out on your own, because I'm gonna have to get a cell phone shot and then upload it. But yeah, here we go. Yeah, duh. This is what it looks like. That's what your typical road brake end. Let's get a good shot of that. That's what it's supposed to look like. But the one I have is still compatible. But you see, this is how it looks, like a little mushroom. Mm-hmm. That's a road end brake cable, a road bicycle brake end cable for road bicycle brake levers. This is still in use today. This is for cable brakes on road bicycles. Now the hydraulics, they don't use these. They don't use cables. They just use a fluid, hydraulic fluid. Some use mineral oil. Some use DOT dot. What they call dot oil, which is Department of Transportation grade. DOT. That's what DOT. So the same type of fluid that's used in vehicles is used for some hydraulic brake cables. But another option is mineral oil. But yeah, you can go down that rabbit hole. It's yeah, so it's a whole little thing. But yeah, so this is a dual-sided. They make it so just in case you have a road bike or a mountain bicycle, you can use either or. So I'm gonna cut that off. And this, a lot of with these old, let's get a shot over here. Number 2, please. Show a shot over here. So be careful not to drop this piece right here, because a lot of the older levers, sometimes this is detachable. This one is detachable. So don't lose that piece, because that's where your cable sits in. If you use without it, it's not going to work. Your brakes are not going to work efficiently. So it's like you don't need a ferrule on this end, because the diameter of this is just right for the diameter of a cable. So I'm going to feed this inwards, and this is the okay, and hopefully this cable's long enough. It should be, yeah, it'll be long enough. Okay, and I'm gonna feed this up and through here. Yeah, you can get a wide shot, please. Wide shot, 'cause yeah, it's gonna. Got a cobweb. There's a cobweb in there. Spider's gonna kill me. Spider. Okay. Get this and then yeah, I had a cobweb in there, a little spider in there. I've seen worse. I heard somebody opened a bottom bracket one time and there was like a whole family of spiders in there. Oh. I'm not arachnophobic. I'm not too scared. I mean, I am to a degree scared of spiders, but like not too bad. Brown recluses are the ones you really got to watch out for, bro. Those are the ones that I know. I know 2 people got bit by brown recluse. Okay. Okay, so With these bikes, I don't like it because, okay, sometimes you got to run them. It's proper to run them over versus in front of the like this. So, but it's safer to put it this way because you're not gonna get your hands caught in it. That's why I don't really like these brake levers because of the, you know what I mean. You can put a modern style some modern style brake levers on these old bikes and run it through here, tape it, and then run it through there. These are kind of dangerous because, you know, you could be riding and then that's some, you know, but older, you know. But yeah, I like to run it like this because it's just, well, you still can, you know, get it caught, but it's not as detrimental. But I prefer to do it like this, you know. To do it like this, it'll still if it's not bending at a sharp, it's not going to kink it. But I think this is a little bit more safe. This is more safer, you know. So I'm gonna do this. Gotta run that cable. And I should be putting new cable housing, but because of time, we don't got that much time. So I'm just gonna sometimes you gotta feed it through the cable housing and put it, then put it through the barrel adjuster. And I bottom out my barrel adjusters. That's just me, you know. And then I stretch the cables, adjust. Yeah, that one's sitting in there. It's having a hard time sitting in there, but okay, boom. So I got the pinch bolt mechanism. Pinch bolt. Okay, let's get a shot of this right here. Oh, let's go to PTZ actually, because this is really small. I don't know. You think you'll get it? You'll get it. So you see this.
Focus. Okay.
Got it. Let me flip that over. Okay, let me flip this over so they can see it. And that, I think this cable cut my cut my finger, but yeah, these things can poke you. They're really sharp, so be careful. So it's a 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter. And what I'm gonna do is get I use my nut driver on this one. The nut driver, 10 millimeter nut driver. How's my audio in there? Am I talking too low? Audio sound good? Okay, cool. Where did I put it at? Oh, we are live. Get my number 10 millimeter. Yeah, there we go. This. Oh, it's actually a 9. Oh wow. It's a 9. Got a 9. Yeah, I got a 9. No set. Bam, got a 9. Oh, yeah, that's seized up. Sometimes these things get seized up. Oh, here we go. Get another one. Yeah, I'm trying to get the appropriate wrench. I'm thinking, and I'm gonna see. But then when I get the appropriate wrench, I'll go over there and I'll display it because it's another 9. Let's see this. Okay, because this thing's old and it's seized up. Let's try number 2. Number 2. That's got me. So I got to hold one end of the bolt and then the other end. So see what I'm doing right here. And then I loosen it. So this little thing is giving me a hard time. But yeah, it cut my finger and now I can't take this thing off. Getting tortured. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Now it's loose and I can take it off. I should grab it with the needle nose because it's yeah, it's no bueno right here. Okay. Got that. Bada bing, bada boom. And we're gonna feed this through now. Feed it through. There's a little hole in here. Let's see if we get number 2, please. 2.
I got it.
See that little hole right there?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna feed that cable in there.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. Feed that little cable in there. Yeah, these brakes are not the well, there's some harder ones to adjust, but yeah, these ones are not the greatest. But I'd rather adjust these than that disc brake earlier.
Call out.
Yeah, especially if the mounting surface isn't faced, it's gonna be pretty much near impossible. But so sometimes you have to squeeze these together and then put in the barrel end of the cable. Let's see. Let's get number not Matt's, but the other one, please. We should. There we go. Can you see? Can you? Oh, not. Yeah, there we go. So I had to put this in there, but I had to squeeze these together in order to put it in there. It's like a very weird thing. So right now I'm gonna put the wheel in, and then get a cable puller and adjust the brakes. So let me get this, my wheel. Let's get a wide shot, please. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this derailleur, pull it. Okay. Make sure that this wheel is in further enough, because this is has vertical dropouts. So the dropouts are like this. It is a little bit more. You got to be very detailed. Make sure that wheel is straight between the chainstays, and also that it has to be upwards, away from the edges of the dropouts, because you don't want this wheel to slip out. So put it in an appropriate amount, and this kind of makes it. It's not going to go in the same spot like it would with a vertical, a regular dropout, like up and down. These are horizontal. Yeah, these are called horizontal because it's almost, that way. So let me see if the brake pad. So you might have to readjust your brake pads every time you take a wheel out of this one, which is kind of a pain, And tighten that up. It looks straight. I use my finger sometimes, put my finger between the rim and the chainstay to kind of gauge if it's even. So that's a little hack, life hack, bike hack. And sometimes I squeeze these together instead of using the cable puller, but actually I should use the cable puller. Cable puller. Let's see the cable puller. Cable pullers. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Super B. Shout out to Super B. They make some pretty good bike tools. Okay. That's pretty good. Tighten this up. So. Gotta be careful. The paint job on this. Yeah, it'd be good to put a rag between there. Let's see. But yeah. And it's got a release. There you go. Okay. I think these cables are pre-stretched. I buy pretty good cables pre-stretched because you don't want to be dealing with it out on the trail, you know, because you'll be riding a lot. So check this. Now it's spinning. Definitely needs to be more tightened, more taut, that cable. So, but let's get a shot of that wheel. Can we get a shot in here? Yeah, there you go. So yeah, so the brakes aren't rubbing. Earlier the brakes were rubbing, but I couldn't adjust it because this cable was frayed. So right now I'm still adjusting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a rag. I'm gonna get a rag in the cable pullers. And I'm gonna put a rag right here, place a rag on the chainstay that way I don't damage the paint on it. It's got candy paint. And then I'm gonna loosen it, adjust it, reapply. Yeah, so I gotta keep doing this till wait, it's not even. Okay, there we go. Got it. Okay. Okay, there we go. Way better. So it's way better. Just needs to be a little bit more tighter. Okay. We're almost done. Okay. Okay, so I got this bolt tightened up, the pinch bolt, and I'm gonna nip the cable, put a cable end on it. Cable end on it. Let's get this up. I don't like to cut it super short. You can cut it reasonable to where I can, if I gotta readjust it, I can what is it called? I can go back and have some cable amount of stretch to pull on. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's pretty dang good right there. It'll stretch. That cable will stretch, so I'm not too worried about it being the brake pads being too close. I can move the whole caliper and adjust it that way, and then when I get it where I want it, I'll go in there with and tighten up the main bolt that mounts the caliper, which is underneath here. Can we get a shot of it? Number 2, please. We're gonna get number 2 on it. So do you see that? This is the mounting bolt right here. This is the mounting bolt for the caliper. Oh, this should always be tightened. You know, these do loosen up relatively, I wouldn't say easy, but, you know, often they do. Not like super, like after every ride it's going to loosen up, but, you know, if you ride a lot, you brake a lot. So I check these brakes. Let's look at the lever right here. So, yeah, it's engaged really. It's a little too tight, but that cable is going to stretch over time, so it's going to be in a good mood. And then I adjust the brake. This does need new box brake pads, but we don't have enough time, so we're just going to use just these just to show you how to adjust them, you know. But they're pretty simple. I got a 10mm nut driver. You can use a 10mm wrench. Nut driver is a lot more easier, more ergonomic. So go like this. Make sure the brake pads aren't, when you hit the brakes, you don't want them to be rubbing on your tire. You don't want to be hitting too high on the rim. But sometimes some rims are very narrow. They don't have a lot of surface area, so they may not keep it on that shot mat. There you go. So they may not, what is it called? You may not have a lot of room for adjustment. So it just depends on the surface area of the rim. That one's a little too, I think this one's a little too high in my opinion. I can lower that, drop it down. The brake pad can kind of, depending on the rim, it can, I don't want to say it can extend past the bottom of the rim, but just a little, you know, just a millimeter or 2 is not going to kill you. It's not going to go into the spokes, but it just depends on that rim. You want to stay away from your tire, because if you're riding and you rub a hole through that tire, you're going downhill 30 miles an hour and rubs a hole through your tire and it pops, and you're going to lose control, you get hurt. You know, that's going to be a lot more detrimental, you know. But yeah, it's hitting at a good, yeah, it's going, extending past just to like a mil. I don't know, just a little mil right there, little lip, but it's nothing detrimental. I mean, I guess if you want to get a razor blade and cut it, trim it, on a brake pad, I guess that would be I don't know. Check your manufacturer. Don't sue me. Yeah, no lawsuits. This wheel's a little out of true, but it's not that bad. But yeah, you can hear that spin. Alrighty. Cool. We're gonna do the outro right now. So let me move this out the way. Oh, I'll move it. Okay. Let's move this right here. Do the outro. But anyways, thank you everybody for tuning into my live stream. This video is going to be also posted on my permanent videos. Shout out to Denver Community Media. Thank you very much. Shout out to the crew. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, check out my website, Bosque mobilebicyclerepair.com. Link is in the description below. I'm on 15 different social media platforms. And I have over 150 videos online, most of which are very educational, product reviews, etc. Trail reviews. So stay tuned for a lot coming in the future. Ain't gonna stop. Gonna keep fixing bicycles and making videos. Also, let me know in the comments where you're from, what country. You know, I get people from all over the world watch my videos. Africa, Ireland, Canada, UK. What else? I think Philippines. A lot of people from the Philippines, I think, are watching my videos. So it's cool, man. I love to see that everybody around the world's watching my videos. Anyways, so hang loose, shaka bra, and take care.